Post-Wolp clarity. Wow. What a phrase I never thought I'd see. Yes, I absolutely did. I absolutely did. It was a highly requested piece of attire. So I was like, okay. Okay, fine, we'll do it. I'll wear it. Damn it. Okay. I'm going to fill in some more details here before he goes out. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting some more writing done. Yeah. One wolf to the other. Oh god, it's one of those people. Again, I saw... we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I saw 6 out of the 8 wolves they had. We saw 6 of the 8 wolpies that they had. The only 2 we missed were the 2 brothers who were hiding somewhere at Turtle Lake. And that that's totally fine because it was hot. It was hot as hell outside. I was sweating. Like, if you looked at my arm was a sheen. There were sweat droplets all over it. It was hot. So the wolpies were trying to get as much shade and things like that as possible. And what worked out for us was there was shade. Now, the enclosure that the last wolf was in, Timber, her enclosure had shade that went all the way to where we were standing. But she didn't have to pick there. She, chose to come over and, well, I'm gonna sit here. But every single time I tried to get a picture of her. Every time. She turned her head. But then when I would not try to take a picture, she'd look at me. And I was like, oh, you a feisty one, aren't you? Oh, you feisty. But I tried multiple times to get pictures. I even did that video, and you see she looks back in the video briefly. She's kind of side eyes me, and then looks away. And I was like, "Oh, you feisty, you feisty." Yeah, I took a bunch more. I just tried to pick out the ones I thought were the best. Though the one I wish we could have gotten more pictures of was that second wolf. The 2 wolves together, they were chewing on bones and things like that. They had found some bones and they were enjoying themselves chewing on them. That's the first set of pictures. So I tried to get them, and they turned away from us. They took their bones, and they turned their butts to us. And they're like, no. And they were chewing on their bones. The second one is the biggest wolf they have. He's the lead male. And, yeah, he's 100 and... He's up in the 100 pounds, 110 pounds. Big wolf. Not the biggest wolf ever, but he's a big wolf. A big woofer. But he was up on his little shed, and he was just sprawled out in the shade on top of his little above ground den. So they give them little sheds that they can go into or sit on top of. A lot of them like sitting on top of it because it gives them sight line. They can look over all the shrubbery and everything like that and see who's coming from where. Yeah. Like I can't do justice how big he was. He was big wolf. And then we came to the next wolf and they were on their shed as well. Looking around, and by the way, these aren't like small enclosures. These are big. And they separate them out like this to give them time to themselves, and then they'll like intermix them, except for there's two of them that they're not allowed to mix in because these two siblings have decided they do not like each other in the slightest, and they will fight probably to the death. So they're like, those two we can't mix, but we try to like change up, like, okay, you're in this enclosure, and it's just for not only stimulation, but it gives them something to do. It's not just like to change up the scenery, which they want, but it gives them something to do, because they'll go around, roam around, try to look for like hidden caches that have been left behind, of bones and maybe some meats that got left behind. Because wolves are like squirrels, in that they'll take in the meat that they need, and then they'll try to like bury or hide some in little caches so that they can get to them later. Yep. And some of them are more social than others. One of them, Sparrow, is much more, has the disperser gene in it. In her, like real heavy. She likes being by herself. But she doesn't want to be far from the pack, but she likes having that time away to herself. So they usually will segregate her off by herself, and then they'll do play dates where they'll let her come in with her brothers and sisters and stuff like that, and they'll play around and stuff like that, and then she'll have a moment where she's like, okay, I'm, we've caught up, I'm done, and she'll kind of wander away back to the gates of the enclosure and be like, let me into the next pen, please, I'm done. And that's the one, I don't know if we got a good picture of her. Oh yeah, we did, yeah. Yeah, she's the one that's up on the, up on her little rooftop too. And she looked directly back at me. Perfect picture. The only downside is that it's using the camera zoom lens, because she is pretty far back. Her little thing is pretty far back into her enclosure. So I had to use the zoom. See, but she looked directly at us. But yeah, when I say enclosure, these are pretty big enclosures. They're not like small little kennels or anything. And then they have the massive actual like enclosures that they let them go around in every now and then. Like when they're like, we're not just keeping them locked up. We rotate them through these. These are kind of like I can relax and chill. I don't got nothing to worry about. Nothing can get me here. And then they'll take them out into the big ones, which is many acres. The Turtle Lake one is one of their biggest enclosures. Not the biggest. The biggest enclosure they have is for the bison, because they have bison there as well, and they had red foxes and gray foxes and stuff like that. Yep. And for everyone that's curious what I'm talking about, I will show it. I'll go through and I'll show these. I'll show one of them from each grouping. So I can show you guys who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. Except I'll show a couple from the last one. I have way more pictures, but they're all kind of like, I took multiple pictures because you never know if one's going to look a little too blurry or not blurry. So I would sit there and like from the same angle just go. You never know which one was going to be the good ones, right? So this is the one that looked right at me. It's like a perfect shot. So it's like, yep, definitely have to get that one. This is two of them. Here again, they're chewing on bones. They're having a good time getting the bones. I have another shot of them, and they're both like. It's funny because it looks like there's two. It's the same one, just flipped. No, they're both chewing at bones, but they're like looking towards each other. And then they got their bones, and then they were just like, like, look this way. We don't acknowledge you exist. We're gonna enjoy our bones. It's funny because she was telling us, the guide who was going with us, like, what you want to look for is you want to look for fuzzy puddles, like, because it's hot, they're gonna be trying to hunker down in place and stuff like that, and they'll look like fuzzy puddles in all this greenery. So I was like, you know what, man, I want to kind of come back during the winter time. They'll be a little more hyper because, you know, wintertime is breeding time. But they'll also, like, there won't be as much greenery in the way. You know what I mean? So we can get a lot more, like, clear pictures. This is the big old boy. This one is their big one. This is Nico. He's their big woofer. This is one is Monty and the other is, yeah, and I literally mean Monty. Yes, one is Monty the moon, and the other is I can't remember the wolf's name. Yeah, this one big boy. Like, I can't do it justice because this is so deeply zoomed in. He was a huge wolf. And then we come to the last one, Timber. This is the eldest female, the oldest wolf they have. She was up and roaming around. She was actually chasing the golf cart. We weren't in a golf cart. We walked because we had a private tour. If you don't have a private tour, you're in the cart and you go around. Stuff like that. Though the private tours will offer to allow you to take a golf cart if you have somebody that's hard of walking, stuff like that too. But the private tour allows you to kind of sit and relax. You're not on a like super strict schedule. You can sit there and ask all the questions you want. Like, you want to stay at this enclosure for however long you want, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Timber was up and roaming around. In fact, I'll put some more of Timber's pictures. Hold on. And I'll show you what I mean by, like, she was roaming around. I'm going to put them in the wolf sanctuary thing. Oh, go away. Come here. Okay, let me just get some more. Because she was roaming for a bit. Because she was kind of chasing down the... She was kind of chasing down the cart. Because in her mind, carts bring interesting things. So she went over, was looking around, chased the cart, then saw us, and started coming over to where we were. Get herself out of the sun. Take that one where she's trotting over. I'll do the one where she's turning, deciding she's going to see it. Gotta let him upload. Hold on. Okay. And sent. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, so she goes and decides she's going to go roaming around. She's going roaming around, looking around, checking us all out, checking out where the cart was going. Then she came running over to us. And nice spot in the shade. and settled on down in with us. And then was just sitting there, basically looking pretty the entire time. Like I said, this is the best one I got, with her actually looking towards us, like side-eyeing us. Yeah. Big whoopee. Big whoopee. Boop. And of course I took that little video. So let's get that video up. Cancel. Dagnabbit. Is there a way to do this? Oh, a second. If I can't move this over? I'll have to full screen it here. I wish you could open the thing and it actually just play the thing, but it won't. Rude. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll just pull it over. Boo whip. Boo whip. And we just have here.
Kind of join a pack that way. So there's lots of variability there. But within a pack is usually related to each other. They're usually all
yeah. And I didn't want to take too long of a video because I didn't know if I'd be able to upload it to Discord. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the efficiency of the thing would be for space requirements, stuff like that. But I should have taken way more video. I should have taken way more video. Yeah, and then other ones I didn't think about it. I didn't think about getting my phone out because I was a goober. The red foxes they had and the gray foxes they had. So, red foxes are your typical what you know of with the orange fur and the black ears, black mittens, and the white tip on the tail. Typical red fox. And then they had gray foxes, which are a native species to Indiana. And gray foxes are the only canine species that actually lives in trees. They're arboreal. So their paws and everything are way different than normal canines. They have paws that articulate, not just, in normal movements, up, down, and stuff like that, which is what wolf paws do, and they have a little bit of side to side. They can actually, rotate them real easily, and they have it where their paws have, a special thing where they can grip with their paws, and they have claws that they can retract a little bit, not all the way, so it's much more like a big cat, where they can retract their claws a little bit, but not all the way in. They can dictate, and that helps them kind of grab and grip and squeeze. So they climb up trees and stuff like that. Now, gray foxes are very rare. Not because they're hunted or anything like that. It's just because gray foxes and red foxes both are omnivores. Both would do very well in human environments. And they do. And so they try to intermix. But red foxes are assholes in comparison to gray foxes. Red foxes are the aggressor. Red foxes will bully and attack gray foxes whenever they see them. So if there's a bunch of red foxes around, you're not going to see a gray fox around. In areas where there aren't a lot of red foxes, you are more likely to find gray foxes. But a lot of people don't know where to look because you're expecting it's a canine, it's a dog, it's going to be, it's a dog-like, it's going to be on the ground or something like that. When in reality, gray foxes, you need to look up at the top, at the trees, because they're going to be climbing on the branches and stuff like that. They are really interesting, and we got to see them a little bit. They were up at the very top platform in their enclosure, which their enclosure actually has to have a full dome enclosure. They're not allowed to because otherwise they will climb straight out. So they had a full dome enclosure, and at the very top of the dome enclosure, they were sitting there, and they were just like, one of them lazily leaned over and looked at us and was like, whatever, and then turned back and he had his little scooted his little butt towards us and was like, his tail was hanging down over the side. It was like, meh. Well, it's funny you say that, Anti-Boy Scout, because one of the red foxes we saw, who was right up near the fence, was in her little cubby. And she was in there, and she was like, right now, this is Scarlet, and she's miserable right now. Because Scarlet was a red fox that was on a breeding farm, specifically to grow thicker, more luxurious coats, right? To be used for fur making. For things like coats and stuff like that. She was rescued from that and was then put in a family home where she had been exceptionally well socialized. So, no fear of humans or anything whatsoever. And then eventually she got away. I don't know why or anything. I can't remember what she said. Like, they tried to release her or something, maybe. And she ended up in a park near the wolf sanctuary, and because she was so used to humans, she would come up, she would sit on people's feet and just look up at them and be like, give me food. Give me food. But because it was such a hot day yesterday, she was miserable. She was in the shade, and she was just like, ugh. And they're like, sometimes they had to separate her from the other red fox that's in there, her brother, because her brother is much more energetic and rambunctious, and like will play. I don't think it said brother, but yeah, the other red fox that was in there, they have to separate them every now and then because he is the polar opposite. She's very calm and relaxed. He is very hyperactive, and he will pull her tail all the time and stuff like that. And so she's just like, we got to separate them every now and then to give Scarlet a break, because Scarlet's getting old. And she's like, she needs her downtime. Yeah, they had a bunch of tortoises there. Like, they had a bunch of tortoises, and the biggest enclosure was called Turtle Lake. Well, the Turtle Lake that ran into the plains, which is where all the bison were, was actually the biggest enclosure. But Turtle Lake, big lake. It wasn't, like, it was funny when we went around and everything, we took a bridge over part of the river leading out of the lake. We took a bridge, and the bison were over there, and they were, like, some of them were in the water and getting water on themselves because it was hot. Yeah, they they had the two brother wolves inside Turtle Lake, and they were somewhere. They're like, good luck finding them. They're usually on this side where we are now, but it's super hot. We don't know, you don't know if you're going to find them or not. They are kind of mischievous too. And my sister actually saw a turtle that was on a log. I couldn't see it, but no, it was out there. It was out there a ways. I was like, yeah, no, I did not see that. She got some pictures of it though. That's why it took us so long to go to the wolf sanctuary. We were trying to get it make it a clan outing, a whole family outing. So it was a slow process, but we finally got to all go. Like I said, I took a ton of pictures, but I tried to put all the best pictures first on the Discord, and then all the rest of them are like just kind of slightly different angles, or just a reshoot of the same thing over and over again to try and like see if this is gonna be less less fuzzy, if this is a little more stable looking, sort of thing. That's what most of them were. I wish I had taken more video, but I was so hot, and I would literally like take out my phone and I'd take some pictures, and the phone was actually felt like I was holding on to a heater. It was like, oh my god. They're not cropped. None of these photos are cropped. What are you talking about? I just said I took a bunch of them. Yeah, so it wasn't like the most comfortable holding on to a giant black phone. Because it was hot and we were in the sun a lot. Though there was shady spots too, and it was better when it was in the shade. But, it was that whole thing that my thought process was not going into, oh, I need to go stick that in my hand again and take more stuff. I would do it if the wolves were like looking at us or like coming nearby. I would try to get it as quickly as I could. Go through the unlock process like it was like, oh my god. No, I didn't crop them afterwards. Like I said, I didn't take as many videos because I was afraid of the file sizes. But it looks like it's totally fine. Looks like it's totally fine. I could have taken more videos and longer videos. Yeah, it was and she did let me know more information that I didn't know. One of the things was that they have observed, because the place we went was actually one of the premier like wolf research centers, which was interesting. Like it was what was his name? It was Dr. L something. No. What was his name? He created Wolf Park originally. Like originally he was an ethologist. So ethology is the study of animals, like the scientific and objective study of animal behavior. And he was a doctor of ethology, and originally he was going to study birds. That was his original goal. Was that he was going to study the birdies, and then it turns out he was incredibly allergic to birdies. So he needed a new area of study instead. And he decided, well, what about wolves? Like, wolves have a lot of, like, misconceptions about them and everything like that. So he started, he bought the park and everything like that. He bought all the land. He started putting in all the construction work. Rewilding is what they called it, to, like, make all the pens and everything like that. All the enclosures all have been rewilded so that they actually have like forests, and they have like forests and actual lakes and things like that inside the enclosures. And he then started studying the wolpies. Studies wolps. I see. This indeed 100% a good boy and 95% floof. Oh yeah. Wolves have a lot of floof. A lot of floofy floof. But yeah, they do a lot of like demonstrations and stuff like that there. Every Saturday they have what's known as the night howling, where you can go and you will go visit you'll go visit them and they'll try to get a howl together and let you hear the different types of howls and stuff, so you can kind of like get familiarized with it. And one of the things that they did was that we didn't that I didn't know, I should say, was that wolves in a pack will all undergo sympathetic pregnancy. So when one of the wolf pack is pregnant, the other females in the pack will also go through the same routine of pregnancy in and of themselves, even if they're not pregnant. Their body will start producing milk. They will become more affectionate and attached towards objects. One of the wolves, they noted that one of them actually like believed one of the caretakers was one of her pups, and the caretaker was in the pen with her and stuff like that, and she came over to the caretaker thinking that he was one of her pups. She jumped up and she vomited in his mouth. Because wolves have the capability where they have a stowage for food, and they will regurgitate that to they will regurgitate it to feed the pups. And this just makes logical sense. Why would wolves adapt? Why would they evolve this? Well, it's because in the wild, what's easier to carry back to the den, to carry back to your pups and your mate? Well, is it going to be easier to carry 25 pounds of meat in your mouth? Or is it going to be easier to carry 25 pounds of meat in your belly? And it's the belly. So they will eat. They can eat, I think she said 25% of their body weight per meal they can eat up to. And then they will go back to the den, and when they see the pups, bleh. And it is a real quick process too. Like, I already knew about the regurgitation thing, but I didn't know that all of the females in a pack go through sympathetic pregnancy, where all of them start producing milk, and they will all raise the pups communally. But yeah, the one she said Sparrow, when she went through sympathetic pregnancy, she thought one of the keepers one year was one of her pups, and so yeah, he was just in there, kneeled down, and she hopped up and just bleh. You need to eat. You need to eat, pup. Pup must live. Bleh. Oh. Yeah, Sparrow. I'll show you. Sparrow was the one who was up on the thing. Yeah. Yeah, this one was Sparrow. Sparrow. That was Sparrow. Blip. I just can you imagine if that poor worker, he's in there, he's like, oh hi Sparrow. Sparrow comes up to him and just blip. Pup, you need to eat. Blip. Yep, Howl Nights. That's what it's called. Howl Nights every Saturday. They have photography sessions and workshops, so if you have a camera and everything there, you can do it. Instincts in Action, a feeding demonstration. The photography tour, I'll let you go in for some summer fun at our annual picnic with the pack event. Oh, when is that? It looks like they give them watermelons and stuff. July 18th. Doors open 3:45 p.m. Enrichment treat deliveries at 4 to 6. That's where they'll give them like watermelons and things like that, and the wolves will run around and try to like figure out how to open up their thing to get to their prize and stuff. Live music for an hour, and then Howl Night from 7 to 8 p.m. So yeah, that's a long event. Watch our resident animal ambassadors dig into a picnic meal while enjoying food trucks, music, and exciting conservation crafts, all gift wrapped with a fun-filled Howl Night program. Yeah, so I also bought some stuff while I was at Wolf Park. 1 second. I bought a deck of cards where the normal cards give like different facts and things like that. We'll go through some of the wolf facts. And the face card, the jokers are National Park Rangers. So you have the two jokers are the two National Park Rangers. And then you have the face cards are all wolves. But they're like very stylized. Like they look like the king, queen, jack, and ace. But they have like wolf heads instead. They're really, really neat. Genuinely really neat. See if I can get the card pack out. This pack was in here tight. Okay. We lost a couple cards. Lost the front two cards. Okay. I might try to take a picture of these so you guys can see what they look like. Yeah, you know, I'm going to try and get a picture of these together real quick. Oh, I lost both jokers. So I have the black and white joker and the colored joker. Yeah, trying to set this up so I can show you guys what I mean. So we can get a good picture that shows all of them in here. Okay. All right, let me get my phone. And I gotta get these laid out better so you can see them easier. Let's put the ace up here. One without the flash. So you can see what it's like. Let me try and send these. Oh, nope, wrong. Right. Okay. Alright, it's in the Discord, but I'll show you on the stream as well. Real quick. These are the cards. I said, really, really neat. Genuinely really neat. And like I said, I didn't want to show you all the normal cards because, yeah, you know. Now let me put it all back together. King, queen. Boom. The black and white Joker. The color Joker. Oh yeah. It's the same one. To be fair, it's the same one, or a similar one to what's on the ace. I have a the wolf that's on the ace, right there. I have etched on a glass. That's one of the other things I bought. So I have an etched glass, drinking glass. And then I bought 7 of their pictures. These are official Wolf Park pictures. And these are from their wolpies at the park. 3 of them have actually fur that are taped to the back. I'll show you the 3 that have the fur taped to the back of them. A little bit of glare from my screen. I can't really help that. From not my screen, from the Logitech thing. Unfortunately, can't help the glare because these are glossies. So you know, this is what it is. I'll show like on the back because they actually recorded. This is wolf hair on the back of these. And some of them have a recorded date for them. Okay, put these 3 aside. So I'll show those first. Okay, which one's the best glossy wise? I think you and you. Okay, those are now sent, and I'll get those put up, and then let me get a picture of the other 4 glossies I bought. And these are pictures that were taken by the cameraman that works for Wolf Park. Oh, the glossiness. Hang on, I'm gonna turn off the thing because this one's super glossy. There we go. I just have the glare from the screen, unfortunately. So Such is life. Alright. Okay. Alright, now I'll pull them up on the stream so you guys can see. So you guys don't have to be in the Discord like jumping back and forth. I'll show it on the screen. Screen 2. And like I said, these are the pictures from Wolf Park itself. This is the stuff that's on the back. So these are some tufts of wolf fur that have been shed as part of the de-wintering process. This is some of the pictures. Park. Oh, I wish I could turn it sideways, but yeah, see. This one I had to get because he obviously went running and he accidentally dunked his head in the snow. It's like, oh, my face. Now this is them walking out on the frozen. The water is still frozen. It's nice and cold. This is why I want to go during the winter time so they're more visible. But again, these are some of their older wolves. This is from the park. This is Nico before he really grayed. Because when they're younger, they're darker fur patterns. And then Nico grayed out quite heavily. And then, of course, this one is all the puppies. The wolf pups. With this one being my favorite. Yeah, the tree. This is the one that kind of shows what we mean when we say wolves have such, like, goofy anatomy. Look how big their paws are and their head is compared to their body when they're little whoops. This is a few months old, I want to say. These look like yearlings. Because they're starting to get their actual, like, fur patterns in. So these are I think these are the same ones as these. Yeah. This is a super young one, though. This is like a month or maybe 2 months old. Super young whoopee. Yeah, when they're pups and their heads and, like, their feet especially are so disproportionate to the rest of their body. It's so adorable. It's adorable. Beep. Wolpies. 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 Okay. Yeah, those are, again, like I said, I have an etched glass as well that I got. It was really, really nice. Oh, it was Aspen. Aspen and Monty. Yes, Aspen and Monty. Kiwa, I believe, unfortunately passed. Nico, here he is. This is what, I'll show you what he used to look like. Like, you got a picture of me in my youth. And then then I'll get the Nico that I have, a picture of Nico. So yeah, this is Nico. When he was like a year or two old. Gorgeous pattern. Beautiful. And then as he got older, he's grayed. So he's undergoing the graying process. Where more of the white hairs, like as you know, people get older too, they go through graying. So this is Nico now. You can see that the white has progressed all the way up to cover and make a mask of his eyes. So he is full grayed. He is graying. Yeah, this is when he was in his full prime, his youth. when he was in his youth. That's the Nico. But yeah, Akiwa, I believe, passed away. Unfortunately, but yeah, Timber, this is their oldest wolf by far. Sparrow, Aspen. The two brothers, Clay and Cricket. We did not get to see them. They are rambunctious. But as you can see, they're also just like, they're young. They are the youngest wolpies. They are both very, very rambunctious. Very rambunctious. This is Scarlet. Again, she was actually, like, specifically grown to have thick fur. She was feeling miserable because it was so hot today. Mulder is the one that's in with her. These are the two gray foxes. Look at them. Look at them. They look so... And you can kind of see how their paw is, like, split in a weird way. And that's so their paw can flex. So, like, they can squeeze inwards. Like, these two, we didn't get to see them. We got to see their butts. Because they were up in the very tip-tops of the trees. And yeah, we didn't get to see them. But you can kind of see how their paws look a little interesting. They are the only canine species that actually is arboreal. They live in the trees. That's their big thing. They love the trees. So they climb trees, they climb out on limbs, they hang from the limbs and everything. They are omnivores just like all foxes are. Yeah. This fox is 60% cat and 40% dog. And you know what's funny about gray foxes is that they actually branched off into the fox family before the actual fox family did. Before red foxes were created, gray foxes were the first ones. And they have not changed from that initial. Their evolutionary thing has kind of stopped. They branched off and they found their niche, and that's what they're sticking to. Like, they've never had a reason to lose their ability to climb trees and everything, and so they're like, yeah, we'll just keep it. There's no reason, there's no benefit to not climbing a tree. So yeah, we got to see them. We didn't get to see Clementine, the box turtle. She was hiding away. And again, it was hot. We did get to see the bison herd. Again, they were neat because they were actually like in the water, like helping to water themselves and stuff. But yeah, I think Kiwa, is gone. But yeah, we got to see Timber, Sparrow, Aspen, and Monty, who have their backs to us. They're playing with the bones. They're like, I don't want to talk to you. We're eating our bones. Kiwa, I don't remember at all. Nico, of course, big Nico. And then Clay and Cricket were like completely hidden somewhere. Our guide asked one of the other guides, like, you seen Clay and Cricket? And they're like, oh no, they're hidden away. We didn't see him coming this way. I'm like, okay, that's fair. We'll see if we run into him or not, but yeah, no, I got to see most of them. I got to see most of the wolpies. I got to see most of the wolpies that were at the park. And I don't know if we can, hold on, if I can show you, because I need you to understand that this is a pretty decent one. Like the walking tour, she's like, it takes about 45 minutes to do the tour, but we're just gonna say probably an hour. It took us an hour and a half on the tour. But again, we were a private tour, so we were allowed to like linger more, ask questions, a lot more questions. We were allowed to basically just stay where we wanted. Because part of the tours, if you are not on a tour and you're just a visitor to the park, you are in the observation deck or you're out on the bleachers to watch it. If you are actually on if you are in one of the tours, you get to go behind the scenes a bit. And like I said, the private tours let you, they're much more personalized. You're not just like going around and they're reading off a script or anything like that. They're actually talking with you, interacting. They're answering questions. You get to ask whatever you want. You get to stay where you want on the tour for as long as you want, within reason, right? They can't stay there for hours and hours. But yeah. Oh. I want to see if somebody has like an overhead map so you can just see just how big it was. It was a really big enclosure. Like, here's a picture of one of the enclosures, right? And so you can kind of see what I mean. Like, it ain't small, you know? So, I'm like, I want to find one to kind of show you. I wish there was like an overhead map. You can see, they're big. That's why I had to use the zoom function on the camera. That's why some of them look kind of like fuzzy. There's no way I was going to be able to get around that. But no, the fact that we got so many of them so near the fence forest, so that I could even just getting the zoom was nice. But the fact that they were so near was great. As they jokingly called it, they were like, they're like, it's like Disneyland. You go in through the gift shop and you leave through the gift shop. Here you go. Oh, well, there you go. A little bit more spoilers. There you go. You go into the gift shop and you leave through the gift shop. Welcome to Wolf Park. Oh my God, what? I would love to see when they have actual puppies there. I can't begin to tell you how awesome it would be to go if they had actual puppies there. Because wolf puppies are so stinking adorable. And they said they will let them breed every now and then, but they have to be careful. Because wolves can have anywhere between 3 and 8 pups. So, and they're not gonna like euthanize any of the puppies, right? They're like, no. So we have to make sure that we're either lined up where if we have excess, we can ship them to other facilities, or because if we got 8 pups in a litter, that would literally double the amount of wolves we have overnight. Big problem. Big problem. And they're like, and we want to make sure we have the amount of money and space and resources to be able to take care of them. So that's what they're like. So we'll need to make sure we have like special things set up with other facilities and stuff like that in case they get an overabundance. But this year they're like, no, we didn't let them breed. We haven't let them breed for a couple years now, specifically because of the risk of having a big litter. If we get a big litter and we're not prepared for it, well, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Oh yeah, when they can't, because wolf puppers, they can't howl. They don't have the lung capacity or anything like that yet, and they don't have the vocal cords for it yet. So hang on. So they give these little things. Oh, here. You can see this is Voyager Wolf Project. Oh, I just realized it dripped right in his eye. Like as if the universe like, no. See? Plopped him right in the eye. A little drippy drop. Playback speed. Bonk! Ah! Ah! I've been attacked! I have been attacked! Oh my god. Oh! the world attacked me! Bonk! Ah! Oh my goodness sakes. Yep. Trying to get reinforcements. Come here. This was 5 years ago. Wolf pup attempts to howl but can't quite get it out. Same one. Voyager's Wolf Project. Let me get through all the loading and everything. Good lord. See the little pup there. Almost sounds like a cat meow. He made noise. He woke up his brother or sister. Stinking adorable. Rabbits vs. Farmers: A History of Violence. Yep. Is this the one where all the wolfies come by? No. Oh no. All right. A bunch of wolf puppies. Oh! It's cute how they all kind of like stick together too. Look, look, look at things. Look at things. Look at things. I need to look at the things. Look at all the things. I didn't see their mom. It said when the mom returns. Like, well, where's the mom? Yeah. Daw, look, 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 look. What the fuck? Daw, is look, 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 look. Like, oh my god, the auto translate screwed you hard on that one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. This is stinking adorable. Hold on. Hello. I guess it's more comfy. I'm here. Oh, more of them. All right. Another thing to think about, and we've talked about it before, where wolves have really good control of their jaws. So a way to think of it is like, you know how you would like grab something? Wolves have that kind of fine motor control of their jaw muscles. So same way like you would grab something, you can choose how light you touch it, how strong you grip it, or anything like that. Wolves have that same sort of thing with their jaws. So that's why you have things like nipping and mouthing and teething and stuff like that to as like corrective actions that are taken. And yeah. So it's just funny. And then another thing, there's like wolves will actually like they train their pups all the way. Like the eldest will impart wisdom upon the youngest. No, I gotta stop looking at these. I want to move on to the next thing. Hang on a second. Loud howls startle 1-month-old wolf pups is what it says. Hold on. One pup's like, "No, I'm out of here. I'm out of here." Get me out of here! Get me out of here! I want to leave! It's like they're trying to use each other as a shield. It's like they're trying to use each other as a shield. Must be a hell of a big pack that's right there. Actually, no, that's not true. I forgot. That doesn't have to be a big pack that's right there. Wolves have the capability to modulate their voices really well. And what they'll do is they'll do the pack howl to like to kind of signify their territory and things like that. And what you can do is you have the first one howl, the second one joins in, the third, the fourth, the first one then rejoins and changes the pitch of modulation. And then the second or third one will change the pitch of modulation to make it sound like there's a bunch more than are actually there. Yeah. No, that's not, again, Benny, that's entirely the opposite. Stop it. When wolves are really and truly like, it's go time, I'm pissed, they get quiet. Like, because they don't want to waste excess energy on wanting to do anything, or they don't want to give away their position. They get very quiet. So if there's ever a battle between wolves, the one that's getting bit will obviously yelp and things like that, because, you know, it hurts. It fucking hurts real bad. But the ones that are attacking, there's not a lot of growling, there's not a lot of barking or anything like that. It's quiet. They are focused, they're intently focused on getting the task done. Right? They're focused on the fight. No, it's not. Oh my god. Benny, I'm just saying, if they're howling, it's not because there's anger. It's not because there's a threat nearby or anything like that. The howls serve different purposes. There are different kinds of howls, too. Like, the gather the pack howl, the lonely howl. The lonely howl is how they navigate back to their family. When they go out and they go exploring and hunting, they're looking for food and things like that. Because wolves are a diet of feast or famine. They will initiate the lonely howl when they want to come home, and they will listen to the response call, and they're listening for a voice that they recognize. So they basically be like, okay, I want to come home, you know, I want to come home, and then they're listening for one of their family members to give the response back. And that will let them track back towards their family. Yep. And that's what I asked. I said, okay, specifically, have you ever seen the wolves bark? And they're like, and the guide we had said, kind of. They will mostly huff and puff because they want to not alert things. They're trying to alert their pack, their family, that something's nearby, so they'll and that doesn't carry as much as a bark or a howl does. That's obviously would carry way further. They're literally trying just to alert. They're trying to alert their family nearby. But they will have what she calls like a howly bark, where they'll either put it at the beginning or the end of a howl. They'll be like, "Bow," or like, "Ow." So they specifically say we call it woofing, like actual just woofs, because that's more what it's kind of like, because it's not like a sharp thing. They're like, It would be like a sort of thing instead. So like, yeah, they're like, they don't bark. Their big thing is they'll do the huff and the puff when they want to do alerts. They also said that their kind of personal space bubble. Personal space bubble for wolves is 0.7 miles. 0.7 or 0.7 of a mile, right? And they're like, that might be hard to judge how big of a personal bubble that is for wolves. So she had us stand in a specific spot. She goes, you see that gas pipe out there in the field, the orange and the white, and I'm like, that is about 0.7 miles away from us. That is how far once you've entered that distance, you are now in a wolf's personal space. And they don't like it. And so then they will have a retreat distance that they will go, which is about 1.5 miles. They will retreat for 1.5 miles to basically assess what's going on. Wolves are very cautious. They're not hyper aggressive. The hyper aggressiveness comes from things like rabies or from literal starvation, like I have no choice. Right? It's survival now. And so that was part of her point, is like a lot of the stuff, for whatever reason, a lot of myths and fables and like anecdotal things came from it. Weird ones like we are predisposed to hate wolves, like that's not true at all. Like there's all kinds of like weird things people say that just aren't true. And this whole thing of like wolves. This is the other thing, is don't get the exact opposite meaning, right? It's like, wolves aren't mindless killers that kill for fun, right? That's not what they do. They don't kill for fun. They are killing to eat, because eating is survival. That's what they do. But it's not, well, if all of those myths and fables, like, they're not monsters, things like that, then they must just be fluffy and, perfect all the time. It's like, no, don't get the exact opposite. Wolves are still a wild animal. And again, they can attack you. Like, if they feel threatened, or if they feel like you're threatening one of their family members, they will attack you. So it's one of those things, it's like, you don't take the exact opposite. Well, if that extreme isn't true, then the other extreme must be true. It's like, that's not how it works. It's degrees. Like everything, right? It's all degrees. And like, I had told the guide, and she agreed with it, but I told the guide, it's kind of like, you can see where some of the fear comes from like wolves that have rabies and things like that, where the wolf is literally glaring at you, like salivating, like drooling, and stuff like that, and it is hyper aggressive. It's like, because it has rabies. It's not the wolf doing it, but if you have that as an experience, that's your memory of what wolves are going to be, and you're going to just associate that with wolves. Yeah, rabies is a hell of a thing. Okay. Right. What else do we want to talk about today? So we're just doing like a bit of a hangout day today. Let's talk about how much I want. I noticed it isn't in Wolf Among Us at the moment. Okay, let's go into Wolf Among Us, and then we'll talk about the movie we watched on Saturday too. I want to talk about the Wolf Among Us real quick. One of the things that I love in the comic that isn't in the game, so in the Fables comics, but isn't present in the game, is that Bigby Wolf's shadow is always the wolf, right? He always has a wolf in shadow. I've talked about this before. It's not in the Wolf Among Us game, So I'm kind of hoping, because the remaster of it, they're actually going through and doing model work and things like that. I really do hope they actually change it to where his shadow is a wolf at all times. And I don't mean like a true wolf. Like he's not just like a thing on four legs, but no, he always has the wolf head in his shadow. Um, let's hang on. Hang on. And I decided, like, yeah. And I've decided I know what I will do. If somebody doesn't do that, like if somebody if it isn't that way, I will probably put up a bounty and be like, somebody make it to be a more comic accurate, and give Big B a wolf head in his shadow at all times. And I'm also hoping, please, for the love of God, give him his actual werewolf form, or his actual wolf wear form. It's hard to do that. But yeah, give him his actual wolfware form, please. I hope that's what they're doing, because that's what they're doing in the sequel. They're giving him his actual wolfware form. And I really, really, really hope that that's going to be his that they change it to in the remaster. If not, I'll probably put a bounty out for that too. And be like, I'm gonna start a bounty to give him his comic book accurate transformation. Yes. Yep. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's what I was thinking. Like, you don't even need to texture the other model, but just like label it as Big B Shadow Cast, right? Like Big B Shadow Cast. His other model will cast the shadow. His normal one will not. And then just have it literally ride the same skeletal animations. You should blatantly steal the idea and have it every time Brightbeak flashes a werewolf, the light casts a wolf-shaped shadow. That's a good idea. I'm going to take it a step further. Whenever Brightbeak or any of the like things, like light-based spirits, cast their light, it will highlight what the person is. Like, if they are one of the Wolverine, it will be a wolf head. If they are a Revorin, it will be a raven head. If they are a Celicorin, it will be a shark. A Barovin, it will be a bear. Volpavin, be a fox, so on and so forth. I think that would be a really neat, like, attention to detail, because this isn't just a flash of, like, pure light. It's like a spiritual beam. I think that would be really fucking neat. I think that's a really good idea, Anti-Boy Sky. I think that's a really good idea. You know what? I can actually carry that in as a special ability of for Kenneth as well. Kenneth can see because he's an Anvaki anyways, but he could make a lantern with his words that cast spiritual light so that other people can like see the truth in the shadow. Maybe not. I'm trying to think of why he would ever use that though, because my God. My God, man. So that's a big hope I have for it. No, because no, it's the same thing. Like because he would be able to see in even if they're in their normal forms, right? If a Wolverine's in their wolf form or Revoran's in their raven form or anything like that, they'd still be able to tell. They would still be able to know that is what they are. So that's why I'm like, why would he ever? Now, I'm trying to think like logically, why would Kenneth ever use that or create such a thing for somebody who's not an awakened? You know what I mean? Oh, I know a reason. I know an actual 100% reason why. He would set it up at the entryway to the shrine. That way, any of the shrine tenders who aren't on Vaki could know the truth of who's visiting. Right? Like, and he would just let the shrine tenders know, like, you look for the truth in the shadow. The shadow that is cast by this light, this thing that I will create. Look for the truth in the shadow. And now you as a shrine tender will know for certain if somebody visiting is like any kind of creature. This would also help them locate for like Gravars and stuff like that, right? Yes. Yes, but again, silver also wouldn't showcase the Gravars properly and stuff like that. Remember, Gravars are people possessed by the dog spirits that protect graveyards and stuff like that. They're usually graveyard keepers and things that get possessed. Not by like malice or anything. It's usually a mutual thing, but it does kind of alter them. And then you have the Wendigo. I can't remember what I've finally decided for the name for the Wendigo. There was a specific name I came up with, and I have it earmarked somewhere. Because I changed it off of Grimm's and Wendigo and stuff like that. Because that's what Grimm's are and that's what Wendigos are, right? Yeah, Misery Maidens are the Banshees. Gravehound, Crypthound, Burial Hound, etc. for Grimm. Skinwalker, Flesh Eater, Carnos. Carnos! That's what it was, because I thought it was a good name. Carnos. Yeah, Carnos are Wendigo. So, Carnos happens when a sentient being consumes, or a sapient being consumes another sapient being of their same genus. So, like, if a dwarf ate a human, whatever. But if a dwarf ate another dwarf, or an elf ate another elf, or a human ate another human, that's a problem. You're basically like open up a crack in your soul when you do that. When you consume the flesh like that. Right? And that will allow terror spirits, if they decide, because again, all spirits of terror, all spirits in general are individualistic. Some of them might feel like they want to take you for a joyride and be more physical, be more corporeal. So that is what will develop into a Wendigo in my setting, aka Carnos, and they are cannibals. They are the ones they will go and kill other people, and they will consume them for food, for sustenance, and it gives them more strength and capabilities. Because remember, the spirits aren't inherently good or bad. They are inherently against the hells, which are absolutely bad. There are no good demons, ever. But the spirits in and of themselves are completely individualistic. They can be petty, They can be kind, they can be cruel, they can be mischievous. Like the one terror spirit who happened to be a Mikander in Den of the Arctic Wolf. He was a cruel and petty piece of shit. Excuse me. Alright. Another thing I will show you guys, because it has been, like, this is the first draft of the artwork from Dimitri. It is in. There's the first draft of it. So the Mother, Ulfhepner, Wolvarin, Varger, and Ulfer forms. Like, I think it came out pretty well. The only thing I'm gonna change, he gave me them all individual as well as the background thing. So I have all these individual. I think I'm gonna like shrink down the Varger a little more, because the heads shouldn't be bigger in the Varger form than in the Wolverine form. So I'm gonna shrink him down a little bit. But you can see I had to keep going on and on with Dimitri about this is not you're taking the word nightmare wolf and you're trying to do it too literally, because again he had it all black and its eyes look like trail cam footage and stuff like that. It's like no, you are taking the word nightmare wolf too literally. It is a nightmare wolf because unlike a normal wolf, it actually has like full-on arms and hands and things like that. It's the uncanny valley. It's not a wolf. Your mind immediately knows it is not a wolf. But it looks like a wolf. But it's not one. And that's the unsettling nature of it, right? So, yeah, it's just that was a bit of a struggle. Go back and forth. It's like, no, you got to stop trying to go for like trying to make it spooky and things like that. The spookiness comes from what it is. Yeah, exactly. It's the unsettling nature of knowing that it's not, because again, it has full-on arms with like proper arm length and everything like that. Wolves don't. See, like again, this took a while too, because you so want to do the natural thing. It is difficult for people to do like animals, because they get in the mindset of they default back to people. They default back to people when they're making things, right? Oh, here, I'll show you. It's like where they're going with the original. I was like, no, you're going way too. You're doing it way too much. Like, way too much thinking nightmare. His fur pattern, and again, it's closer, but yeah, it's like you're going way off the rails with it. But this is the hard part for like people to understand. So that's why I did these as like a way to show, because people so often want to like do it in terms of human anatomy. You know what I mean? It's hard. You look at this and you so desperately want to do like you so desperately want to have the stuff in a different spot. So this is what I was showing, like the original, what had happened with it. So I was trying to show like, see what I mean? Because here's obviously an hinge point. Here's a hinge point. You have the shoulder. You have this hinge point, and this hinge point. So I was trying to show like, again, the human mind wants to change where it is, but this is more what it actually is. This is what they're actually supposed to be. Right? The human mind, it's the same thing with like drawing a bicycle, right? Everybody, you can picture a bicycle in your mind, but you might be picturing it incorrectly. And it's all based on like the way the handlebars work, the way the wheels work, and everything like that. There's so many people that you ask them to draw a bicycle, and they'll fall into a bunch of traps. The same thing with animals, like especially canines. Like they fall into the trap of trying for more humanized anatomy on like the arms. Like, why don't they have their elbows down on their, because you think about like, well, when I look like this, my elbows are out like that. You know what I mean? So like this would be like the elbow. Wait, are the pedals on the front wheel? Yeah. Yeah, now on old bicycles they were. On old bicycles they were on the front wheel. Those are the big wheel bikes, right? Yeah. But like I said, this is not me like I'm not saying Dimitri's bad or anything like that. These are the traps you fall into. You know what I mean? That's why this is part of what makes the Vargr the Nightmare Wolf. Is the fact that it is more humanized anatomy. It is more human anatomy. Again, it has 4 fingers and a thumb. It actually has hands instead of paws. Right? It actually has wide shoulders. It has proper shoulders. Wolves don't. Wolves are very streamlined. Like here, there's a skeletal thing that I also showed him. And these are the skeletons. Again, wolves are very streamlined. Their shoulders, you see how they don't really have like a shoulder width, right? Yep, Uncanny Valley. That's what I was trying to show with musculature, with bones and everything like that, right? This is the elbow, right? You see what I'm getting at? Like, you want to think like, here's your shoulder, here is your upper arm, here is your elbow, here is your wrist that then goes into like these are your fingies, this is your palm. Right? It's your mind doesn't want to work that way with it. Right? Elbow, wrist, your palm, your fingies. That's how wolf anatomy actually is, right? Oh yeah, 100%. That's animals just in general, because you get so used to a lot of your training for art, at least here, like here in the art classes I had seen, was for human anatomy, right? For obvious reasons, like here's a hand that you can pose the fingers and stuff like that on it, and take a look at the hand, draw the hand over and over and over again. Here is the arm in silhouette. Look at it, draw the arm and everything with the musculature. Like they have the person flexing their musculature, so you can see the musculature. You can see how they'll put a harsh light on it, so you can see how it like bends and creates shadows and stuff. Like that's what they do. They don't do like try and draw animals, right? And it's the same thing that happens. It's difficult. You want to default towards more human anatomy. The one thing I'm thinking of changing on this, I've already paid for it. Like that's why we're talking about this. I've already paid everything. The one thing I think I want to take the Wolvarin here, and I want to scooch him up a little bit and give him a bit more. Like I don't know. I feel like his torso is not long enough. I feel like his torso needs to be a little longer. He just needs like a couple more inches. Just go. It feels like it's just a little short. Just gotta scooch him up a bit. Like get the jack out of the boot Get the jack out of the trunk. Just there we go. That's better. But again, he gave me them individualistically too. So I'll show those. So you change them. Again, this is going to look kind of weird because he's using shadowing and stuff like that, right? Yeah, gave him to me individualistically, so I can also just do that as well. Just little changes. But I'm gonna let Dimitri know that's the plan. I'm gonna plan to make the torso a little bit longer. Man, if you could see, like in Discord, it looks weird when you look at the actual files because this is all shading. You know what I mean? This isn't like, there's no like true whites or anything in here. This is all just shading all throughout. And that changes like the tone of it. It's very difficult to explain what I mean. Here, I wonder. I'm gonna try and open it and see if we can see it quick enough. It loads too quick for you to see what I'm talking about, and it gives a white background for some reason. Oh yeah, he's incredibly skilled. Dimitri's incredibly skilled. That's why I paid for it. That's why I wanted him to do it. He's skilled again. These are the just tough, like tricksy things, right? So again, for the Vargur, I'm going to shrink him down a little bit. He's a little too big, especially because his head, it's supposed to be the in-between of them, but this looks way bigger of a head, right? So I need to shrink the Vargur down a little bit. Yeah. And we'll ratchet up his like torso a bit. Make him a little bit taller, if I can. I'll have to see, because again, it's all shadow casting and stuff like that, and it's a lot more difficult for someone like me to do. But otherwise, yeah, no, I think this is a really good. And the same thing here with the Beastly Man. The whole thing, the Beastly Man, I think, came out perfect as the in-between of the two, right? Because he's taller. He's got more hair and stuff like that growing along his arms, stuff like that. It's like what Bigby looks like. From a distance, you wouldn't be able to tell that Bigby is not human. It's when you get in close, you're like, oh no, that's not right. That's not right. It's a way to put it. Hold on. Also, I hate that the Fables thing used a really bad werewolf picture for Bigby on their wiki. Damn it. It looks awful. Anyways, this like this. Here you go. If you're at a distance, you wouldn't recognize that he's not human, right? When you get in close, you notice the details. Way to do this, like. I mean, like, I can't go any smaller, right? But if you were, like, way off in the distance, it just looks like a guy, right? A hairy guy, sure. But he looks normal. It's when he gets closer, you start making out the details, like, those aren't fingernails. Like, that's a lot of hair. And then, obviously, you get in real close, and it's suddenly like, my, what sharp teeth you have, and everything, and, you know, and your eyes look strange. Same concept here for the Beastly Man. right? The Ulf Hetner form. Benny, stop! Benny. I don't get what you when you do these things. It's so fucking weird. It's very strange indeed. Yeah. So yeah, it's the same thing where they channel more of their strength and power without kind of like revealing themselves, like without like throwing the veil off. Madness Network is active today. It really is. It's the same thing with like when Benny was responding to Rapar. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that's not what Uncanny Valley isn't that it's too real looking. Like what it's that it's not. It's close, but it's not real looking. That's the uncanny part of it. Like it's off. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Benny does these things, and I don't know why he does these things, but he does these things. And I don't know what he's actually trying to say or get at. Yeah. So again, that's where we're in with that. So again, the first official artwork for the book settings and everything. Oh, I forgot about this one. I forgot about this one in the comics because it's funny. Like they're chasing the wolves are chasing Peter Rabbit and they're trying to eat him, and like, yeah, well, who's gonna stop us, Peter, from getting you? And then Big B just looks over at them like, how about the biggest, baddest wolf of all? And the wolves are like, Big B, ah, holy majolies. Holy majolies! Holy majolies! Yeah, just so you can kind of get the perspective of just how big Big B Wolf actually is. He's huge. He's not a small wolfie at all. No, he's very, very big. But it's funny, the wolves then immediately are like, what's the problem here? We're in Wolf Valley, right? So wolves have all the rights here. And Big B's like, you aren't part of my pack. Wolf Valley belongs to me and mine. You are brother wolves. I will allow your trespass to a point. But this is my territory. This is mine. Not yours. Mine. Bigby! Holy majolies. I still just love that. Holy majolies! Oh. Yeah, so, again, my two hopes... My two great hopes for the remaster of Wolf Among Us is, number one, make his shadow a wolf like it is in the comics, a wolf head. Actually, can I show that? That one, that one, that one. Let me grab them. from chapter 1, chapter 27, chapter 30. Okay. Let's do it. All right. Give me a second, chat. We're working on it. We'll get there. Okay, yep, there's the page with that one. That one was easy peasy. Let's see, on the entrance of the woodland basement as he heads down to check on Boy Blue's progress. Okay. There we go. And now chapter 30. The hospital. Yeah. We've seen that. I've shown that scene before. Man, I want to take these. I'm going to take these real quick, and we're going to edit them up so I can do them without a bunch of spoilers everywhere. So I just want to show them. Well, I mean, this one is spoilery, but yeah, it's not much I can do about that. And it's kind of just the nature of the beast on this one. This one, though, is not spoilery. All right. Sorry, Chad, I don't get to you. I'll get to you. Uno momento. Is this really? Oh, no, I did the dumb thing there too. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, there we go. Better. Now they're all properly sized, too. Hooray. Alright, let me put this in... What area should I put this in? I'll put it in games and everything. Especially for what we want. Or what I hope we get in the remaster. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Bum bada bum bum bada bum. Alright, chat, I return to you. Oh, have a good morning, Roppar. I return to you at the turn of the tide. So this is what I want. Like, again, I want this in the remaster. I'm trying to move my head out of the way. I want this in the remaster. His shadow to actually cast Wolf at all times, right? Because I just think that's just such a cool fucking detail. And I hope the remaster does it. Because I think that would be a genuinely, like, really neat detail at all times. You know what I mean? It would just be such a cool, subtle thing as well. And you could actually play with that so much. You could actually play with that shadow creeping in. You know what I mean? I would 100% do that. I would have a scene of, like, not even looking at the character models. I would just show, like, the one character obviously cowering away, and then having this looming over them, just looking up from the shadow's perspective, right? That's what I would do as one scene. I think that would be great cinematography. And again, they hint at it. Like, this is one of the official artwork pieces for The Wolf Among Us. They hint at it, but they don't do it. This makes me like, ugh. Ugh. Give me Big Beast Shadow. Give me a Big Beast Shadow. Okay, chat. I'm gonna make myself some food, and then we're gonna discuss the movie we watched. There's another thing in here I wanted to check out too. Yeah, we're doing Viking Wolf. Not this Saturday, because this Saturday is going to be Independence Day, but the next Saturday we're going to do Viking Wolf. But yeah, let me... There was one other thing here I saw, like a brief preview of, and I was like, that seems interesting as fuck. Oh my god. A Chupacabra movie? Literally called Chupa? Okay. Doesn't... What is... I feel like, isn't Chupacabra like Bloodsucker? So... I don't know. I feel like there's something there. I feel like that name of that movie is like hilariously fucked for like reasons they didn't think about. You know what I mean? I feel like the name of that movie being Chupa is in like, huh? Oh, for the love of God. Hold on. I was getting this stuff set up for when I got back. Okay. Anyways, we're going to have it muted and everything. We got our subtitles on. Anyways, I will be RB chat and we'll talk about this movie after I get myself some food. Mm-hmm. I forgot to unmute myself. You didn't hear any of that. Family Pack is a movie that's distinctly okay. It's like a 5, maybe a 5.5 out of 10, right? It has some good jokes in it. It's brought down because of this retard here. She is a retarded feminist in every sense of the word. She believes that if feminism started earlier, there'd be no wars, no famine, no strife. Nobody would go hungry because feminism is great. Rather than what we all know would happen, there would be mass murder, killings, and like beheadings all over the place because people got their fifis hurt. Because feminists are a genuine cancer on the entire world and society. And yeah, it is actually like she is a piece of shit. She does have she is super powerful in the end. However, I will accept that as being okay and consistent because they have the rules of this is that they are stuck in the game werewolves. They're actually stuck in the board game werewolves itself, or as it is the wolves of Sleepy Hollow, or what is it? What was the name of this? What was the name of this town again? It was Hallow something. No. I swore they said in the credits what it was. Because yeah, they actually like officially licensed the board game to do it. So she gets super powerful, but I'll accept it as okay because they're actually fulfilling the roles in the board game: the hunter, the trapper, the sheriff, the seer, the little girl. The little girl is as OP as you would expect, right? Little girl is as OP as you would expect. There's a reason that people house rule the little girl all the time. Because she is genuinely, like, actually overpowered. In every sense of the word. It's one of those, like, positions where a lot of people will outright ban the little girl from existing. And for anyone that doesn't know, what the little girl can do is at nighttime, when all the other roles are not allowed to look, the little girl is allowed to peek. Can open your eyes slightly and peek and look around to see who the wolves actually are. And if you have even remotely a decent memory in the game, like, obviously you could pick out every single wolf on night one. And if the wolves don't kill the little girl on night one, they lose. That's how completely fucked and overpowered the class is. So I totally understand, people banning it outright. Like, I totally get it. I totally understand. And there are people that make arguments of there's counterplay because the little girl you can only vote out one person a night. So, for example, if there's 4 werewolves, and the little girl may name all 4 of them, that won't matter because they can just kill the little girl. Or if you do the black wolf rules, the black wolf can turn the little girl into a werewolf later. So if a seer does it, they can check the little girl to see, like, okay, they are the little girl, I believe them, or I don't, they argue there's counterplay to it, but no, there really isn't. That's way too much information to be had. And obviously, if one of the people says, right, I'm the little girl, these 4 are the werewolves, exactly, and they name them specifically, and they're like, hey, if the werewolves kill them, well, you kind of confirm that, hey, it's, what you said is true, right? The game is basically over at that point. So I totally get why they're banned. Here is one of the jokes, because like I said, this is actually a comedy movie. And this is one of the jokes where they throw flour onto her so they can see, because the little girl's invisible in this. For whatever reason, she can't talk, though. But the seer can. No, not a word. Again, he doesn't realize he's the seer. He actually tries to keep a secret the fact that he's a seer the entire time. When he goes to the door and he sees that the sheriff is there, because they're being suspicious and they don't look like normal Frenchmen, he just casually walks right over. It's like, okay, that was a pretty decent joke, right? The best joke, the one that actually got all of us to laugh, like, a pretty hearty chuckle from all of us, was the joke that happened later in the movie with the arrow. The arrow joke was fucking fantastic. Oh God, I'm coming. Yeah, so he's got an arrow sticking into him. She pulls it out right as, don't remove the arrow. All right. Thunk. She sticks it right back in. Oh, the grandfather's trying to keep her from making the guy bleed to death. And then, no, she's like, oh, right, don't. And she shoves it right back into the hole. And he's like, ah, why'd you do that? Now, they give you time to breathe on this joke. And they wait. They wait until after, like, everything's happened, the group has gotten all back together, and then Jerome, the main character here, or the dad, he sees that his ancestor has an arrow sticking out of him. He runs up and oh God. Hold on. Ah! Don't remove the arrow! Oh, he sticks it right back in. Don't touch me ever! Like, we all thought that was the end of it. we all thought that was the end of the joke. Then they bring it back again. And it is such a perfect timing. So I'll explain. An arrow gets shot, and the trapper grabs the arrow. The trapper has super strength in the setting of werewolves, the setting of loup-garou, and he's like, all right, fuck it, chucks that arrow, chucks that bitch away. Thunk. It was so perfect. It was the rule of threes, but they actually gave time for the joke to settle and expect you to, like, have gone past the joke. It's like, okay, right, we're not gonna bring that up again. And then no, just perfectly right back again. That was so fucking funny. Alright, another thing I want to talk about, the werewolves in this actually look great. Like, again, they're not bad at all. The problem is the rest of the suit, right? But the werewolves themselves, all throughout this movie, actually look decent. They're not like, we have seen so much worse for werewolves, right? What was funny was one of the werewolves walks into a bear trap, right? And I was like, oh, trapper playing traps. I was like, okay, that's cool. They have the trapper role. Someone in the town is the trapper, and they're using their role. Then we see a mysterious someone come out of an alleyway, and they walk up to the werewolf, and they straight up free them. They free the werewolf, and I immediately said in the Discord, I was like, traitor role? Do we actually have, like, the traitor role here? And they did something even better with it than I expected. They did something even better than what I expected for, like, the traitor role. And it's way funnier. Because if you know werewolves, if you know the board game Werewolves, right? Again, the werewolves of something hollow. I can't remember the name of the town. But if you know the rules of it... Oh, hang on. That's a perfect shot to show. That's not all blurry and everything. Yeah. Again, the werewolves don't look awful, right? They look fine. The body part looks bad, but the head actually looks fine. And we've seen way worse. We've seen way worse werewolves and everything else. Holy shit. Have we seen some bad ones? But yeah, if you've ever played the actual, like, game and everything, you know that one of the funniest roles that has the solo potential of completely fucking the entire game over. The sheriff comes in. They're like, yeah, sheriff, we know you can kill the werewolves. You killed the other werewolf. Like, we know, sheriff, you're the good guy. And things like that. And he's like, I'm sorry. It's Cupid's power. And I immediately lost my mind and started laughing my ass off. I didn't think this role would be present. But the fact it is incredible. For anyone that doesn't know, one of the roles in Werewolf is Cupid. Cupid's entire goal, Cupid wins if the two people he shoots with arrows who fall madly in love with each other, regardless of faction, if they are the survivors, if they outnumber the rest of the players, then Cupid and the two lovers win. And in this movie, they had a Cupid at some point that put the sheriff and the werewolf in love. And it's like, oh my god. They actually had the Cupid role and they put it in the movie. That's fantastic. And it did the exact thing that fucks over so many games of werewolf. Like, holy shit. Holy shit. The number of games that have been completely fucked because of Cupid. Like, where Cupid puts two puts a werewolf and, like, one of the key roles, like the sheriff or the guard, in love with each other. It is so fucking funny. It is so fucking funny because the lovers, if they're both in the same faction, that's one thing. Okay, then, hey, we're both, like, the lovers will talk to each other and be like, "Hello, baby. What's your role?" "Oh, I'm werewolf." "What's your role?" "Oh, I'm werewolf too." Fuck. Okay, well, we just got to make sure the werewolves win. "Hey, baby, what's your role?" "Oh, I'm the town sheriff." "Nice. What's your role?" "I'm the werewolf leader." Okay, we're screwing everybody over. Got it. It's a game where both sides are gonna lose. I I had no idea the Cupid role was going to be in this movie, and the fact it was, and it comes in clutch like this at the end, is so fucking good. This is so good. I love it. I love it way too much. That twist, I was dying. I was dying because I was like, I thought, again, I thought traitor role. I thought maybe they had traitor role in here. No, they had a Cupid being a shitter. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. It was so... I was like, okay, genuinely, that was a great twist. That was a great twist. Because again, the sheriff was like, okay, well, we killed a town member. Like, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. And it recontextualizes it later where he's like, no, he was actively helping his werewolf mistress take out town members too. It's so fucking good. Oh, it's so good, and that's how he also accurately got the actual werewolf too. So they were gonna behead the real one. I love the fact that they were gonna behead the werewolf, and that the executioner's axe breaks. He goes to kill the werewolf. He's about ready to chop off this lady's head. Shook! The axe head goes flying away. Is this a joke to you? You're the Joker. Daily executions take their toll eventually. Do you have a spare sword? Of course! Well, good for you. Oh my god. Daily executions take their toll, damn it. Now, what I also liked, again, it's the whole thing of, like, yes, the annoying feminist gets all powerful in the end, right? But this is entirely within the witch's capabilities. So, the annoying feminist is actually the witch role. The witch gets 2 potions. You can use them both at the same time. You can use one and save the other. You don't have to use any of them. But you get 2 potions. And you can throw them on a person each. Here they change it to magical, mystical, zappy powers, right? They change it to magical, mystical, zappy powers. Fine, whatever. They're not throwing the potions. That's okay. They didn't go to their witch's cauldron and brew up some potions. That's fine. I don't care. That's not as meaningful. I do hate that the feminist is the one that got witch, but this is entirely within, so this wasn't an ass pull or anything like that. Well, the one potion is a horrifically deadly poison. It kills immediately. And the number of witches that have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory with the throw of that potion is fantastic. Like, oh, it's getting pretty serious here, you know. I don't think we've gotten a single werewolf. If any one more of the town dies, we lose. And then the witch that night's like, throws potion. The next day, like, the witch fucking killed me! I was the town guard! Ah! And then the werewolves are like, yeah, we win! But the second potion is a potion of. It can either, depending on the game, some games nerf it and they make it a potion of defense, where it stops the werewolves or anyone, werewolves, assassins, anything from killing that target. Originally, it allows for a revival. It's like the waking up Sleeping Beauty sort of thing. You use the potion to like revive someone. So this was not an ass pull. This is exactly and entirely what the witch is capable of. I just hate that the witch is the retarded feminist. Right? So like I said, this isn't an ass pull. This is entirely in the purview and powers of the witch. It makes sense. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. It's not a terrible movie. It was just generic. It was a middle of the road. It was average, right? A little bit above average because some of the jokes were genuinely fucking fantastic. Like they had some actual good humor and comedy in it, but it was just kind of like it was there. It existed. One of my favorite jokes is it's revealed later on that the guy they were working with was Leonardo da Vinci, and Leonardo da Vinci is also gay. That's whatever, but it actually fits for the joke that they tell here at the very end. Nods his head because this guy, the Asian guy, suddenly realizes, like, it's not the Mona Lisa, it's the Jerome Elisa. It's the Mona Jerome. I was like, okay, that is a good joke. That is a good joke. Fine, you get it. That's fine. Yeah, and they donated this to the Louvre. His family's like, he tells his ancestor when he realizes that he hears the name Leonardo da Vinci, he grabs his ancestor and he's like, buy every single painting this man makes. And his ancestor's like, why? He's shit. His art is terrible. And he's like, buy everything he makes. Oh. Again, it was, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. It was an average movie, 5 out of 10, maybe 5.5 because some of the jokes were genuinely really good. That could have been better if they got rid of the retardism out of it, you know? But what can you do? It's modern French people. They're a bit stupid. They're quite a bit stupid. All right. But hooray, chat. We're done with that. Now I'm going to go get my food out of the air fryer. It's been sitting in there for a bit. I'm hungry. I'll be right back. Alright. Lost a lot in 20 years. Want to see a good French production that's cleverly written? Recommend Camelot. It's one thing that gets me to respect the French a bit. Nice. Well, like I said, we're going to watch Viking Wolf. We're going to watch Viking Wolf here next Saturday. Not this Saturday, because obviously we got some 4th of July to do. Yeah. So we're going to watch Independence Day. And I'm going to go watch all the fireworks. Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Good times to be had. Okay. What do I do for the last little bit? Yeah, we're doing that movie for a good reason, because obviously the speech. Speech, so fucking good. Perfect speech. Meanwhile, what to do here? I need something to do. While I eat my foods. Oh, there's a new El Toro video out. We're definitely not watching that here now, though. Yeah, we're definitely not watching it here. It only just came out like 30 minutes ago. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry. No, I saw a thumbnail. I was like, what the fuck? It's a dude. It's an Asmongold video, and the dude is diving at a cop holding his taser, and it's just the words are, "I'm God." I'm God. Chat, what should we do? What should we do, chat? You know what? I didn't even touch my food yet. I'm hungry. And it's sitting right here and it's calling to me longingly. So, apparently, chat, I don't know anything about this game, but it was free for a while. And it's apparently a more hardcore-y MMO thing called Wild Terra. We're playing specifically Wild Terra 2. Apparently there's a lot of stuff you can do with wolves in it. We'll see. We'll see. You can apparently like tame wolves and get like a bunch of wolf powers. But you play as a human only though. But I'm like, oh, damn, oh, come on. Rude. But, you know, we'll see. See what happens. I have no idea if this would even be worth continuing. Oh my god. Oh my god, it squirted. Oh, the mayonnaise squirted. Ah! Man, it's a chicken patty with American cheese, mayonnaise, pickles on a bagel. A plain bagel bun. Right, so obviously we're doing Gaia. Okay. Yeah, and I got no say in this. We will be doing Whiplash. We'll be doing Whiplash one of these days. Because it'd be funny. This Friday we're going to do more Mecha Chameleon. Just to have fun with it. Because they've done some new updates to give some more tools and things like that. So yeah, looking forward to it. Much hair, almost bald. Not a lot of choices here, that's for sure. Not a lot of choices at all. Who should we be in this? How about Frederick? Frederick. We're gonna be Frederick. Frederick Ulfer, if it allows us. No, it doesn't. We're too good. Feudal Lord? Okay. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise everywhere. Ah! Everywhere. Ugh. Oh man, there's a lot of mayonnaise here. Oh, that's good. Okay. Hold middle mouse button, scroll wheel, okay. So right click, we attack. Ship rat. Equip clothes, okay. Yeah, I know, I am. What happened? Okay, pick up the knife. Equip it. Use right mouse to click to attack, okay? Yeah, it was off. What? Not impressed with my skills with a knife. I have a remedy for severe hangover that has been proven. Nice. Proper chimkin noodle soup. Okay. You're so slow, though. Die, rat! Knives is 3 now. I'm level 3 with knives. Cook. Wait for it to cook hellish mixture. Oh my god. Is it are all of these the ingredients? Is it literally? Oh my god, rat droppings and sulfur? Hellish mixture. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, well. Oh look, I can run now. Hooray. See the playlist. What playlist? For what? You even remember what happened yesterday, drunkard? No. I don't. I'm gonna talk to the boatswain, alright. Figure out how to get out of the warehouse, okay? Oh, there's the hatchet sitting right there, okay. I'm sure he'll appreciate this. I'm lumberjacking through the hold of the ship. Don't worry about it. Maybe we'll get to the hull at some point. Faint instead of death. Okay. Find and talk to the boatswain. Went to the quarter. Now we're on the poop deck. Back down to the quarter. Are you? Nope. Back down onto the main. Where the fuck is the? It's the daughter. Where is the boatswain? Are you the boatswain? No. Oh, no, that's Gale, the first mate. Where the fuck is the boatswain? Oh, what? Chat, was he there the entire time? Did I walk right past him the first time? He was. Damn it. Damn, that's what I get for looking at the fucking quest tracker instead. Wave your hand at her? Drag the action to wave to the toolbar. Okay. Complete. Oh. Shark in your fizz? What the fuck does that mean? Oh, she looked away. A shark in your fizz. What? What? Well, honestly, the writing and everything like that, this UI is pretty abysmal. The writing is pretty, like, what? The helmsman's name Steers? Really? Okay, fine, whatever. But you said in your fizz. Like, not face, fizz. Shark in your fizz means. Okay. Okay. You like last night's catch. You're unforgettable. Such fishing is prohibited on Bloody Mary. I think for sure your death warrant. What the fuck? First mate was ordered to what? put you in the hole, what? Turn to the boat, Swain. This is why, because there's no like dialogue, you know what I mean? They don't say anything. Like what? Ugh. I mean, this is awful. This is an awful system. What the fuck? All right. Wow, we got some range on those puppies. We're gonna make a hang glider. Okay. We're gonna make a hang glider. Where are the spare parts? That's first mate's icon. Oh, wow. That's your world map? Oh, wow. What a deep world you have. Oh, here it is. Why would you cut the rope? Terrible, terrible. Terrible. What? down my tools and everything. There's a fucking trebuchet here, though. Deer. Look, it's just random trebuchet here. Okay, catapult. I almost feel like English wasn't their first language. You know what I mean? What? Oh God, can I find sticks? What did I just pick up? Open the skills window to see its bonuses. Let's go into gathering. Okay. Well, that's nice. Ah, sticks pile. Nice. So yeah, I needed some sticks. Whoever you are that killed the deer I've been trying to tame, I hope you die 1,000 times. Wow. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. So now, let's make a stone pick. Craft one. Hammers. Craft. 96% chance. Now I'm at 100. Cookery. Oh, there's a stone hatchet here. A stone knife. Oh. There's a lot of stuff at least. Let's check buildings. Alright, we need to find some more branches. Branches. Godsend? Oh. Find an untouched godsend in the world. Oh. I was dumb. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, because you're such a bit. Oh, morels. Create a stone knife. I already made a stone knife. I guess I'll make another one. There, just so we can get the quest done, since I've obviously jumped the gun. More sticks, thank you. I need more sticks. It's very much survival based, for sure. Okay. All right. A Fuchs! A Fuchs! Look at him! There goes the Fuchs! Fuchs! Alright. Oh, more Fuchsies! Well, that took you a while to realize I was there. Dork. A goot. Some goots and some Fuchses. Find and kill a hare. Okay. Hell yeah. Okay. What? Turn on the inspiration? Okay. And then what? Just for any skill, I guess. Alright. Do these sticks real quick. Yeah, that did it. Build basic dominion. Okay. Ugh. Huh. Well. It's very. Oh, another godsend. Wow. Use to enter the shattered castle. Sounds important. And some gold. I got some gold. Which I'm apparently sticking in my shorts. That's all I got on me. Alright, chat. Well, it was a fun post-wolping adventure. Oh my god. I had to stretch. Holy shite. Holy shite. Holy mother of God. Stretching is like, it's an okay game.
Is it safe for me?
If you could make it.
Oh. Yeah. Remember, chat, for this Saturday, for Saturday Showtime, it is 4th of July. We're watching Independence Day, baby. Yeah. Independence Day. In the meantime, though, chat, tomorrow will be Writing Wednesday. I've got quite a bit done. I want to get as much more done as I possibly can. But yeah. Meantime, chat, hope you take care. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe and healthy. Get fit, get ripped. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye for now, everyone. Yeah.